Okay, welcome to the first note set in Math 31. This is section 1.2, and in this section we're going to be looking at place value, names of numbers, and we'll do a little bit of table reading. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is the Arabic Hindu system of writing down numbers. It's commonly called the place value system, and we're lucky to have inherited this from them. The first example here, we have a 3, but its place value, if you'll look here, is in the tens column. So the meaning of that 3 is really not 3. It's 3 times its place value. 3 times 10 would be 30. So that would normally be a 3, but because it's in the second column from the right, it means 30. And the same is true for the next 3. It's in the tens column, so it's 3 times 10. In other words, that's 30. And in the final example, that 3 is also 30. We would actually read this number here, 6,538. The place values have a pattern, and there's no way to write them all down because they continue into they just continue on. We have names for a lot of them, but when they get up higher, we actually don't even have names for them. But just to give an example here, we have the thousands column, and then when you multiply that by 10, you get the 10,000s column and then the 100,000s column. Then you switch to millions, and it goes 10 millions, 100 millions, billions, 10 billions, 100 billions, and so forth. As you're moving from right to left here, every time you switch to the next column, you're multiplying by 10 in value. So 1 times 10 would be 10, 10 times 10 would be 100, 100 times 10 is 1,000, 1,000 times 10 is 10,000, and so on as you work your way towards the larger columns. We group these, and the groups are called periods. We have the billions period, and it would consist of 100 billions, 10 billions, and billions. And then the millions period is 100 millions, 10 millions, and millions. And you want to separate these with commas. So starting on the right, you group them by groups of 3 digits at a time here. And you have the 6 millions. This would read 6,258,000. You read the period when you get to the end of the next comma. 307. All right, let's do the same with the next here. We'll separate the periods. So we'll separate the ones from the thousands from the millions from the billions. And you're reading from left to right. You say 46, and you get to the billions. So you say 46 billion, 913 million, 756,982, and that's ones, but you almost always leave that off unless you're just trying to explain that it's times 1. Notice that I didn't use the word and anywhere in that. The word is used for decimal points, and we don't have decimal points in these examples. So we're supposed to underline example 4 here. We're supposed to underline the digit that occupies the given place. They want the 100,000s place underlined. So we'll find the thousands. The 9 is in the thousands spot. And then you move to the left. It goes 10, 100,000, or 10,000 and 100,000. So it's a 4 they want to underline in this problem. The 4 is in the 100,000 spot. Okay, this is the millions period, and the 10 millions digit would be that 9, so we're going to underline that 9. 9 is in the 10 million spot. Okay, essentially turning that exercise backwards here, you've got an underlined digit, and they ask what is the place value that it's in. Well, that 2 that's underlined in example 5a is in the ones column, and the 7 is in the millions column. To contrast that, this 4 is not in the millions column, it's in the 100 millions column. Okay, We're going to insert the commas, example 6. These instructions, by the way, are very close to what, if not an exact copy of what your homework will cover. So you can look in your notes to see how I did these. Insert the commas in their proper place and then write the number out in words. So we group them in groups of 3, starting on the right. There's the ones, 710. Then we group the thousands, 234,000. And the 98 is in the millions, period. So we'll write this out, 98 million. Notice the hyphen. You'll use hyphens in numbers between 21 and 99 that are compound words, like 98. 90 would not use a hyphen, obviously. The next period is 234. Notice the hyphen, and that's 1,000, comma. So we use a hyphen, and so far I haven't used the word and I won't. 710. It's very common to make the mistake of putting the word and in there. You'll see on example 7 in a minute where I did it a couple times. I made a mistake in my own notes. 710. The word 100 is misspelled a lot, so I'll just throw that out there. Okay, the next one, you're going to put a comma separating the thousands period, 5,000, from the ones, but that is the one case where it's optional. When you have a number between 1,000 and 9,999, you can leave the comma off. It is correct grammar here to say 5,308 with no commas there. And I said and in there, and I shouldn't have. So 5,000, comma, 308. Okay, looking ahead here, you can see that I use the word and in here, and that would imply a decimal point in these numbers. So I'm going to fix that first. And I also forgot to put the hyphen in on that 82 on the end there. 106,582. The next one's a little trickier. We have 14 million. Let me take care of the issues here. I forgot the hyphen in 29, and I also put the word and in when I shouldn't have. But you might notice that there's no thousands here. No thousands mentioned. So I have to fill this period completely with zeros. 329. Okay, let me erase a few of the little stray marks that have come in here. All right, the next one here, you're supposed to write this out in expanded form, and this would be the format you would use if you didn't have place value involved. For instance, the 2 that's in this number here is actually in the hundred thousands place, so it really means 200,000. And this is what it would look like if you didn't use the Arabic Hindu place value system. You have to write out 4 million plus 200,000 plus 70,000 plus 8. Here's another example. Just to give you part of it here, the 7 in this number means 7 million because of its place value. We'll do one more example here. 742 is actually 700 plus 40 plus 2. That's what's meant by all of that. Okay, we're going to do a little table reading to finish this note set out. And when you read the table, you want to make sure you read all the headings. This table, it shows the medal count for the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, Australia. And there's only the top 5 nations listed here. United States being number 1 and Germany coming in 5th. It might be ordered by the number of gold medals. You can see that this column is in order from 37 down to 13. But more likely, this is ranked according to the total number column over here, which is also in order. Now, there's this 58 total medals for China and Australia, and that tells you that at the very least, the number of gold medals is probably the tiebreaker when they're tied. Okay, so it's a little unclear how the ranking is done here. Okay, so number one, problem 9 here. Which country of those listed had the most silver medals? So you look over here in the silver medal column. The silver medal column, and that would be Russia. So of those listed, Russia had the most silver medals. Okay, how many bronze medals did the host country, Australia, receive? So you find Australia here. And then you line up with the bronze medal column, and the answer here would be 17 of those bronze medals. So athletes from Australia earned 17 bronze medals. Okay, the next question is, what's the meaning of the number 5 to the left of Germany? And you can see that 5 over here. That's just simply the ranking. So you be careful how you state it. We don't really know here, but they're ranked 5th in either total medal count or gold medal count out of the nations all the nations in the world, presumably here. Okay, is the table complete? And we would look at this and say, no, this is only the top 5 countries that are listed. So that does it for section 1.2, a pretty simple little presentation. I hope you have an easy time with this homework.